Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. I wanted to try something new on the channel. We had done a kind of a news video the other day on like a Reddit anime, and I thought, how about we do a weekly news series, a weekly news recap in the world of Hearthstone, where we basically take the events that have occurred in the Hearthstone world, summarize them, give like top stories, and then have like a weekly GM recap as long as the GM stuff's going on, so you actually can know who's doing well, since it sure seems to be hard to follow on Twitter and with the HSEsports thing about actually who's doing well and who's doing what. So let me know in the comments below if this is something you want to see going forward, but let's give it a go. These are the recap of the stories I found interesting. So let's get going with our top story of the week, and that is Firebat. He was disqualified in this weekend's GM series. He made top 4. He was doing very well. And yeah, basically, I believe Saturday evening, his match ran like 5 hours late, and played it, won, qualified for top 4, and then went to bed. And apparently, while he was asleep, it was posted in like the Discord or the Battlefy or whatever they're in, the check-in time, which he did not make. He overslept it. The check-in time, I believe, was like 2 or 3 hours before the match was scheduled to be had, and he woke up in time for the scheduled time for the match, but wasn't there for basically the time he's supposed to be there for the check-in, and as a result, he was disqualified as per the rules. I believe if you look at this tweet by one of the casters, I believe TJ posted this, that they need to basically be there by that time, or they're subject to the rules, which do state that if you're not there within like an hour, you're disqualified and you can be fined up to $1,000, which he was. So Firebat took to Twitter about it, was not happy about it, mentioned that, you know, he overslept, but not really, because he was, you know, he was on time for the scheduled matchup. And yeah, it blew up on Reddit, it blew up on Twitter, people are really pissed off with Blizzard, and then, yeah, with the TJ tweet, and like Sottle coming forward and saying, you know, they tried calling him and everything, he didn't pick up, that, you know, it's an unfortunate situation, it sucks, but by the rules, he should have been there. So, my take on it, for the most part, was, well, you know, he was up 5 hours late the night before. Their whole scheduling thing, like, basically they're supposed to be there, like, 3 hours. They're basically supposed to be available either 3 hours before or after the scheduled time. Like, that's a 6-hour frame. It's kind of ridiculous, but at the same time, they're being paid thousands of dollars to participate in Hearthstone tournaments. They signed up for this. It's part of the rules. You might not agree with the rules. They might suck, and they might not exactly be that great, but you sign up for it, and you're kind of at the mercy of that. And if they decide to disqualify you, they decide to suspend or to fine you, it's kind of on you. And it sucks. I think that the rules are pretty garbage. I think that they expect way too much leeway from the player and not on themselves. Like, you have to stick around for 5 hours if things run late, but if you're not there an hour early, well, we'll get disqualify you and fine you. I think that's a little one-sided in how unfair that is, but as it stands, yeah, he got disqualified and fined, so he does get top 4. He, I believe, gets a $2,000 amount, but he gets fined $1,000. So, like, yeah, kind of sucks for Firebat. I feel for him. I hope that they look into this and maybe it'll be updated so the players don't take the full burden of the kind of crazy schedule. But it is what it is, and yeah, people were pretty upset on Reddit and Twitter. Next story of the week, we had a pretty unorthodox hotfix balance patch-ish to the game this week. No cards were directly nerfed, but discover effects and created by effects were effectively nerfed. You can no longer discover a card from the same card. So, like, you play Renew, it can't get Renew anymore. You play Magic Trick, it can't get Magic Trick anymore. If you play Evocation, which isn't a discover card, it can't randomly create Evocation. So this is similar to what they did to Dragon Queen in the original balance patch back in the whole Descent of Dragons release, that Dragon Queen can't get itself. Well, no, nothing can. Stonehill Defender and Wild can't. Nothing can. And I think it's a great change. Like, it's one of those very frustrating things where people, like, basically infinite value with these cards. And, you know, when they renew and renew and renew and renew, they heal the full, and it's, like, ridiculous. It's only 1 mana. So I think it's a really good change. And, yeah, for the randomly created cards, which have no discover effects, it is important to note that Disciple of Galakron, which is a very popular card in Standard right now, because Galakron Priest is insane, Highlander Priest is insane, can still discover or create Disciple of Galakron, as it was noted on Twitter, I believe by Cora Celestial, I'm not sure, that it's not Disciple of Galakron that's actually invoking, it's Galakron itself, and since Galakron itself isn't creating Galakron, it can create Disciple of Galakron. So that's still kind of triggering, but overall, I think it's a really healthy change, and I'm glad it happened, and I've been pitching for it myself quite a lot, and yeah, awesome stuff. In our next story, Wild has seen an insane meta change in this last week. Dark Glare Warlock has completely taken over. I've seen people posting matchup spreads of their Wild games of like 50, 60, 70% Warlock, and it's all because of Dark Glare Warlock. With the additions of like Raise Dead, we have Pin Flinger, you have Tour Guide, which gives you 0 amount of life tap. There's just so many self-damaging ways of basically getting Dark Glare to keep refreshing your mana. And what you do is you keep refreshing your mana, and then you can cheat out Flesh Giants or Molten Giants and then create more with Raise Dead or whatever. And then you put in Broomstick, which gives everything rush, and you play Loatheb and you lock your opponent out. You can get turn 2, 3, 4 insane boards where you cheat a billion mana with Dark Glare and build these giant boards that nobody can possibly answer. And it's giving me Naga Warlock vibes. You're building all these giants ridiculously early in states that almost no class can deal with unless they have like Brawl or Shadowward Ruin, and that's if you haven't Loatheb them, of course. And yeah, it is potentially startling and bad for the Wild scene if this deck is as powerful as it can be. Of course, it is contingent on drawing Dark Glare, like you have to draw the card, and you can still do good self-damaging stuff and cheat out giants, and it's a little bit more fair. But yeah, once you get going with Dark Glare, it's really insane. And yeah, I don't think Quest Mage is really the key deck that people are going to be too concerned about, myself included. I've harped on that a lot. We've done a lot on the channel. But yeah, Dark Glare Warlock is definitely something we're going to have to keep a lookout for, and we're going to be streaming our Wild stream pretty soon on my stream, so I guess I'll get a taste of that and see how scary it is. And I'm going to end the video on Grandmasters recap as promised at the beginning of the video. Basically, yeah, I find it a complete struggle to ever find news and stuff other than if you're following GMs on Twitter to get updates on it. And I thought, hell, let's give some basic updates. Maybe we'll elaborate on this. Let me know if you want more details on this, but I thought we'd recap who basically got top 4 in each region this week, who won their respective region, who did well, and give you that for both NA, or for NA, EU, and Asia. So NA, the top 4, and basically if you finish top 4, the first player who gets first wins $2,500, second gets $2,200 and $22.50, and then the third and fourth get $2,000 apiece. So on NA, Muzzy won, beating out Language Hacker in the final, who finished second. And then Eddie and Firebat were the runners-up at third and fourth. But as mentioned, Firebat will lose a good chunk of his prize pool due to the whole being late fiasco. On EU, we have X-Blies winning, beating RDU in the finals. Not just a GM streamer after all. And third and fourth going to Jarla and Psycho. And in Asia, Bank Yugi defeated Tyler, Master Streamer Grinder, and Chiansu and Surrender finished third and fourth. So, first major week of GM action, and yeah, some really good performances all around by some pretty notable names. Be interesting to see how it goes. I'll link in the description below where you can find the standings, because again, none of this is really that clear, and I thought I'd bring it out there. So that's this week in Hearthstone #1, our first news recap video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you like this? Is this something you'd like to see on a regular basis? It's kind of cool to check out all the stuff, and I know how hard it is to find this information. Play Hearthstone doesn't really make this available at all, other than some random retweets of some stuff. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you like this. You can get notified when we'll do more. Have a great day. Stay salty, my friends.